Hi, I'm Amy Christie, and I am the director of Wizard of Oz. And today I have the privilege of interviewing Sophie and Jon Osgood. Sophie and Jon both grew up at Grace Church and have been part of Grace Theater since like 2011 and Jon since like 2016. And they are now married and met here at Grace doing theater. And they are my Dorothy and my Scarecrow. And so I got to sit down and just talk to them and reminisce about all the years that we've been doing theater together. So fun to have you both sitting here to chat about lots of memories that we all have together.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way back to 2016. Well, I mean, we really could go back to 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Les Mis, you were both in that show. They were the first shows that you both did. Was it your first show, Sophie?
It wasn't my first show, but
because you were in Sound of Music.
Sound of Music. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
John
that was
your
definitely
first show.
mine.
I know
Yeah,
that for sure.
Absolutely.
So you kind of knew. I mean, you both grew up at Grace Church.
Yep.
Yes.
So you've kind of known. I mean, were you friends growing up? I don't remember.
No, I
Okay.
mean at Les Mis, I genuinely didn't think that we were even close in age. Like
okay.
she
There was
she
a high
looked
school
so
group
young
chat,
that,
and
she wasn't
looked
in it.
too
I felt
young.
so bad.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you were too young
I
for the
was
high
too
school.
young because I apparently wasn't in high school.
Oh,
Right,
I
but
was.
of course Grace
I was
Miller was
gonna
in that
say,
group chat and
my
didn't
sister.
say anything.
She was like,
Oh.
if they think she's young, it's
Then I'm
you
gonna
know.
keep her out.
Yeah.
She might bring me
Oh,
down
she's
Right, so
hilarious.
I did feel bad about that one.
when you
Oh,
found
it's
out
fine.
later.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
fine.
So
Funny memories.
you knew of each other in Les Mis,
Yes.
really didn't connect during the show, but then
Mhm.
2016, Beauty and the Beast,
Yes.
Mhm.
which first of all, Jon, you were scared to death to even audition for the show.
Yes.
Like just I've told
Yes.
that my part of that story, but share what you
Yeah.
remember from that.
Yeah, so I remember like stewing with my family during even the application for the audition of like what roles I was interested in, and I just wrote roles of like these are the ones that I think would be good for me,
Mhm.
and it was Gaston, LeFou, and Lumiere,
Mhm.
and the Beast was not on that list.
Right.
And when I saw my name on that callback, I'm like, oh no, that's a mistake. There's no way that was,
Meant to be.
meant to be.
Right.
Yeah. So when we went to the audition we did the audition and then the callback list
Mhm.
came out and I saw my name under the Beast, I was like, man, I have not really acted before. Like I had done Les Mis and there was like chorus acting, and that was something that I was comfortable with. I didn't have to say anything, but I did not feel comfortable at all saying anything at all to anybody else on stage. So when we were doing the callbacks, I left. I walked out because I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. I wasn't confident in what I was doing.
And you were pretty anxious, as I recall.
Oh my gosh,
like,
yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it was a super low self-esteem time of my life, and I remember that you and the team were gracious enough that we had our own little callback for that.
Were
in
you
the
at that
green
callback?
room.
I wasn't. I was at the callback where he left.
Okay, but
but
you
I
didn't
do
come in the next day.
remember you being anxious about it, and I had heard that, so we practiced together. Like the
So
day
you were
before or
friends
something.
by this point.
Yes,
were
we hung
just
out
not
the
super
summer
close.
before.
We DM'd each other, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we're both gonna audition. You want to practice?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was
okay.
not at the one that he.
Right.
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
So you came back the next day.
Yeah.
Came back
Yeah.
the next day, and I still that time was still like very like a high anxiety
Yeah,
for me
sure.
still.
Yeah.
And I think that it was probably because of that showed a lot of where I was approaching the character from, of that the Beast is not comfortable in his own skin physically at all.
No.
And that was something that I think that you probably saw, and it's a cool thing to look back on now, because as you know, an actor that's 9 years older than that moment, I'm
yeah.
like, wow, I can't believe how much I didn't realize I could give to that role. And that's truly like a big blessing, just to like look back and see like where that came from.
It was a very cool moment.
Yeah.
And
So
you were a silly girl
I
in
was
the
a silly
production.
girl.
Um,
Yeah.
And you guys really became friends during that show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No love connection yet, but you.
No,
I think
not
there
on
were
his
like
side.
there were.
Maybe
You had a bit of a crush.
I did.
Okay.
And I invited
Well,
him to
he
my
was
birthday
the
after
lead.
the show.
He was the lead.
And he was like,
You
but
invited
we
him
got
over?
there. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
We hung out in the treehouse. You, me, Betsy, who played Belle,
Yeah.
and
Right.
Kana, who was another.
Kana.
singer
Yes, because
girl.
I remember
that
the
was the
four of
us.
you became very good friends.
Yes,
Yep.
that's right.
But then
And
you took me to prom later that spring.
was that spring?
It was. I did
It
not
was
have
that
Did you
anybody
take
to go
Kana to prom once too? No.
No.
But you went with Kana
Right.
and her
Yes.
date.
Yes.
Did you
Yes,
kind of
it
like
was.
Kana? I don't remember this. I remember pieces of it.
I don't.
We
know.
could go on.
Okay.
About
We
the
don't have to.
history
We
there.
don't have to get into the whole love
Well,
triangles
it's
or
funny
whatever.
because I'm like, oh, I was being led on and whatnot, but you were just a very friendly guy
Yes.
growing up.
Especially once he
Yes.
got his confidence
Yes.
after playing the Beast.
And
right. Yeah.
To be honest, I did not
That's what it
date a
was.
lot. I dated one other person besides you, so
Right.
Yeah.
that I just
Right.
am more.
So
reserved.
did prom propel it forward?
Go ahead.
No, you actually. It's probably better if you go.
Yes and no. I mean, we both dated other people after.
Yes,
we
Right.
I
had
thought
hung
you
out.
did. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
truly, I think around that spring, we both were like, no, we feel like almost
Friends.
brothers and sisters
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's how close we were.
Right. And I think back then I wasn't looking at a relationship
Yeah.
in the right way as like a 16, 17 year
Sure.
old boy.
Right. You guys
know?
were young.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and I think that's like when we reconnected in 2020 and we had both lived some life and
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
You
we're
were in
trying-
college by
yeah.
then.
COVID.
we were
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
look at things in a way of like I'm looking for my partner
Right,
for
yeah,
life,
right,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And then when I think we were looking at each other in that
Is what?
perspective, that was like
Yeah.
okay, where were we looking this whole time?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But it is interesting. We talk about this. Like, I auditioned for Ball State, where you went to school. You auditioned for Milliken.
Right.
You were about to go to Milliken after I had
Yep.
said yes to that. So we
Mhm.
almost went to school together. And oftentimes I think
It
it's
might
better
not.
It
that
might
we
not
did.
have-
We
It
would have
totally
ended
mi-
up being married, but we were supposed to have our own growth in our
Yeah.
individual journeys.
those
you know?
2 years were
Yeah.
so important, I think.
Anyways,
and you
that's what
both
I'm
went
talking
for musical theater,
Yes.
which, so in 2016, when you did Beauty and the Beast, you kind of knew you were on that track, right, Sophie?
I was thinking about it and praying about it, and that I was between that and elementary education, possibly like English as a second language. So I was thinking about that, but I had been doing some shows previously and had already been performing for a while. So I think I was further along. Like, okay, I'm going to make that decision within the year. But
Right.
I was pretty set on. I wanted to do it in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
But for
You-
you, it was
yeah.
like kind of a life change. Like,
Yeah.
this is
yeah.
what I'm
I
doing.
mean, before Beauty and the Beast, I was very heavily considering music composition,
Mhm.
and then after that was like vocal performance, and then
Mhm.
after that I'm like, you know what? After Beauty and the Beast, I'm like, this acting thing's kind of cool.
Yeah, right. I like
And
all
you're kind of good at it.
components.
Right,
I
well,
like it all.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, musical theater seemed like exactly the right route, especially with Ball State. I mean, that's I loved my time there,
Yeah.
and I think that it even combined a lot of the things that I was looking at before musical theater, because there are so many opportunities for
Mhm.
just singing stuff, or like
Mhm.
I honed my like arranging skills
Yeah.
so much in that program, and I really loved it.
Good.
Yeah.
You both
Well,
honed your skills for 4
yeah,
years. You
yeah,
both
yeah, yeah.
graduated with musical theater degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got married.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was 3 years ago
3
in
years ago
September.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 2022.
I
Yeah.
know, that's
you guys were
wild.
you're still babies.
I know, right?
But
Yeah.
you
Like,
knew,
It's
like in
20, almost
2020, you
2026.
figured out this is the right thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And for
Exactly.
2 years, you
Yep.
were together and then got married.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you made sure that Grace was part of that story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I got to marry you, which
Yes.
was super fun for me to
Beautiful
watch
ceremony.
watch all of that
Perfect.
happen.
Yes.
So you went to New York. You
Mhm.
guys were there for a couple of
Right.
years.
Yeah.
What drew you back? What drew you back home?
Oh, you're wanting me.
No,
I mean, because it was
think you
a
can go.
journey. I mean, you guys, it
Yes.
took you,
Yeah.
it took a lot
Yeah.
of like contemplation and
Yep.
reflection to
had-
figure out that.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. We always knew we wanted to go there. I would say more on my end. There was more anxiety of moving out there
Mhm.
just with the, job security and all that kind of stuff. And I'm so glad we did. We always say we would have regretted it if we didn't move out there.
Absolutely.
We went to auditions, things like that. You got to write a show. Like, we got to do some of the performance things. But while I was out there, at least for me personally, I loved meeting the people out there and just the diversity and the culture out there, which I loved out there. But honestly, we had talked about, settling down eventually. Both of our families live here, so we wanted to move back. And we had been praying about it really in the last couple of months before we ended up moving, and God just kind of made it clear that was the right time to go with job things, and then with some theater stuff changing out there as well.
Yeah.
It
a lot
just
of things
didn't
like
feel
in
in
the theater world were
yeah, and we both were like, you know what, it's been a good run, and we can come and visit. Maybe we will end up back there. Who knows where God's going to lead us?
You never know.
But right now,
exactly
This is where you're supposed to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, it, like you said, it truly was very clear. Like, and we were kind of putting our nose to the grindstone for a lot of it, of just like working our day jobs, and there was not really time. Not really time to audition there.
Nights with ramen, which you said in our ceremony.
Yeah,
we were like, every year we're like,
we had ramen. And we're like, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
But I mean, we had the posture of the nose to the grindstone of really just working hard, trying to pay rent and all of that, and like we weren't doing what we went there to do, and we were like, well, what would we be losing, by leaving? And we were thinking, it's like, it's not really a lot just to say that we did it in New York,
right?
Right. Because there's theater here, like obviously, like we're doing it right now, and proximity to family is huge with that too. Is like that was a huge thing that we were missing, and frankly, our wallets were paying for with all the flights we would take home because we missed our family. And that it truly is just like, God was like, hey, you've got the answer right in front of you. You just gotta take the step.
So you move back. The last show you did at Grace was Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
And Sophie, you did Father of the Bride after Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Right.
So you come back in June. You move back in early June, right, or late May, and you audition for the show like later that month. So you were ready to jump back in.
And what I was going to add on to that too, which kind of ties into, audition. Obviously, we've loved performing here too, but why it's so important is something we had talked about out in New York. Shows are so expensive anyways, and we're thinking, what are the audiences actually? What do they look like? And totally fine, but a lot of them have money. Like, we wouldn't be able to go out and see a Broadway show. It'd be like our Christmas gift for the year,
Right.
And something I was thinking about personally too, like on my own career path journey, I love to perform. Not sure if that's like going to be the main thing I want to do, but I was just thinking, it's so much fun to just do a community theater too. And it's almost, it's almost, in some ways, it's more fun because it's going to be more accessible to people who have maybe never seen a show before. And those are the kind of people who deserve to see theater.
Right. So, everybody deserves to see live theater. I agree. And that's why we try to make sure that can happen.
Totally.
Absolutely.
So now you're Scarecrow and you're Dorothy. What's that like performing together? I mean, because you probably haven't performed together.
Right.
I mean, I know you wrote something in New York and Sophie was in it.
Yes. We did one show together here in Indianapolis before before
You
we
did
left A Christmas Story at Civic.
Super fun.
It was a blast, but we didn't exchange lines. We never had
this time
moments
you're on stage together. You're playing opposite each other. Right. You're on stage the whole show, and next to her, you're on stage the most too. So
So
the first friend I met.
First.
So what's that like?
It's really, really cool. Like, as actors, I think it's so cool. Like, our job is to hold up a mirror to life and so that people can experience it and see it. But we're doing it in this fantastical way of the Land of Oz, which is so cool. But the thing that makes it so interesting is that obviously we're married, but our characters are not married.
Right.
Yeah.
Not,
Very-
not
very
no
clearly.
romantic
She's
relationship
Right.
at all.
16. He's
Right.
older.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But what I think is so cool about that is that when we get up on stage, like our chemistry is still there and how we interact.
Mhm.
But obviously we're not like we would be
Right.
doing our jobs right if we were
Yeah.
like, hey,
Right,
this is my wife,
exactly.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I find it very, very cool how we can like exercise our actor muscles in that way
Mhm.
of being able to like work with each other as like co-actors as
Yeah.
opposed to like,
Yeah.
you know, our home life, which is,
Yep.
you know,
Very
And
different.
it kind of does remind me of when we were best friends. Like
Mhm.
that's
I
what,
was gonna say.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's-
What our
yeah.
relationship was built on is friendship. That was always my number one thing. Too. I want
Huge.
to marry my best friend.
huge.
And we've talked a lot about, the reason we got married so young too is because we had that foundation.
Yeah.
And when we're performing too, I mean, the line like "I'll miss you most of all"
Mhm.
is probably the most relatable.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
If you weren't in my life anymore, I would miss you.
Most of all.
Yeah, most of all, exactly. But yeah, it's like because they are pals, and it's kind of
Right.
fun to just goof around together. The apple scene too.
Oh
Anyways,
my gosh, the apple
just
scene's
kind
a lot
of
fun.
it does remind me of like when we were younger too, because she's a
Yeah.
young girl too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that, and I've seen it very often where actually married couples have a very hard time playing a romantic relationship on
Right.
stage.
No, that's
Yeah.
Like the chemistry isn't there, is like they have it in real life, but
just
they
have to
don't.
show it.
Right.
Yeah.
But because you guys have such a strong friendship, like
Yeah.
I'm seeing that already. As a matter of fact, the Lion and the Tin Man, who are not with us
Mhm.
right now, one of the things we're doing is trying for you two to get to know them better
Yeah.
because you two know each other so intimately and
Yeah.
so deeply that the
Mhm.
connection is just kind of natural.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you've been best friends for so long that so now it's kind of like pulling those two
Time to
guys in
bring it
and
on.
and
Right.
make sure that they feel as connected. I mean,
Yeah.
not as connected as you guys
Right.
do, but
Yeah.
feel part of
Yeah.
that. And I can see as we're together more that
Yeah.
happening, and it's been really,
Yeah.
really cool to see. What is it like carrying the show?
Oh,
I mean, you're carrying the
yeah.
whole show. How do you feel about that?
oh my
ahead.
gosh,
Is
it's
this
been
the biggest
fun.
role you've ever had?
I think it is.
Okay,
I
I mean,
thi-
because you've played
well,
some leads, but
Scout and To Kill a Mockingbird.
oh yeah, that was true.
I
That's
think
true.
it was just because of my age.
What
like
about-
it was
but that was a lot.
a
Scout's
lot.
a
And then
big part.
Jane and Tarzan.
Doesn't
But
I think? Oh well, I take that back.
no, I think this is
Jane doesn't show up until Act 2.
And
End of
Father,
Act
Father
One,
of the
maybe.
Bride.
Wait,
you had quite
end
a
of
bit,
Act
but-
One.
but
Wait
the
a
Father
second.
does
That's
as a
right.
musical,
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
like really.
Yeah, you're
I've
in.
had it
You're
in
like
this-
not in
You
like
never
3
leave the stage.
scenes, and
Yeah.
that's
There's like
it.
2 scenes that I'm not in, but
Yeah.
well, first of all, it is. I think because of the journey I've been on with school and the training I've had,
Yeah.
I can appreciate it much more than I would have probably when I was younger. You
Mhm,
know,
mhm.
and I'm glad I get to bring that training to something like this
Mhm.
and something like a fun show too,
Mhm.
instead of
Yeah.
super heavy. Like
Lots of joy.
we need some joy
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
this world right now,
Right.
you know?
Mhm.
And so
Absolutely.
that's what I'm just trying to focus on.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
I can just carry it with joy and, you know,
And it helps to be
Um,
doing it in a community of, I mean, you guys know a lot of people
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
in this show. Like they're your sisters in the show. Like,
Right.
yeah,
so it's like you got a lot of people around you that
Totally.
are not only just your co-performers, co-actors, they're
Yeah.
like your community and
Yeah.
your friends. And would you say, like having done theater other places, I've always touted that
Mhm.
that's what's special about doing
Oh,
theater
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
yeah. You wanna go?
Yeah, I mean, just it brings a whole new sense to the word of community
Mhm.
theater,
Mhm.
even though like this is community theater, but it's
Right.
it's through Grace Church, where this is
Yeah.
like is a family here.
Mhm.
Like you're a part of the Grace Church family
Mhm.
when you come and like walk into the doors, and I mean, it's so cool to be a part of that because like you could talk to a different person every day and learn
Mhm.
so much and like have a completely different conversation and be just as filled up by talking to the next person,
Yeah.
you know, in the cast. So
I think the safety emotionally, like mentally, that you get as a performer in Grace Theater is number one. That's the biggest difference to me in terms of performing other places, even professionally. Like,
yeah.
you know, there's been some really great experiences and some that it's
Mhm.
you're
Yeah.
paid, but it's work, you know, and
Mhm.
Right.
the fact that this is a lot of people are coming to rehearsal at the end of a work day and whatnot. There's just a safety around that. Like, we're here to create together and create something beautiful together, and the faith aspect is really neat too. I mean, you can't.
It's not a paid gig.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
You know, and so sometimes a paid gig can become just
Yeah.
that. Like you are picking up a paycheck and you're doing a job,
Right.
and
Totally.
this is you're right. People are sacrificing time
Yeah.
in their lives to
Yeah.
be here to rehearse, and that's a different level
Right.
of community. And the faith aspect, even those that don't have a faith, because we've had several people be in our shows
Totally.
that are
Yeah.
on a different spiritual track or just haven't entered a spiritual journey at all.
Yeah.
I would say they feel a different sense of unity and community in our space and with our people. And, that's always what I dreamed about. So I was always like, I don't have a ton of theater friends that would come to church, but I have a ton that would do a show if it was good.
Yeah.
Totally.
And they wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been such a joy for me and to watch both of you not only, grow as human beings and just you were already incredible to begin with, and you've just grown in that way as just in your spiritual journey and your maturity and like you're adult people now and married, but also as performers, just, to see like people that you got to be on the front end of what they were doing and then watch them take that. There's nothing more fulfilling as a director or than to watch people that you got to be a part of the beginning of it and watch them just grow and grow and grow.
Totally.
Do you think back ever to that, like the initial beginnings and like, how did we get here?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, when I think like as an actor, we're like I said, holding up the mirror, but also in doing that, we have to look back on everything that we've learned as just a human being. And like going back to the day one of theater for me, which was Beauty and the Beast, I'm seeing so much of like, man, I'm not really trying to toot my own horn. I'm really just like looking at this like objectively that like I've come so far.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Because like
You
even
don't have
just
to
looking
toot it.
at
I'll
that-
toot it for
Yeah.
you. You've
No.
come so far.
You went to school for it. Let's
No, but like not even in that sense. Just like as a human, I've just lived so much life since then, and it feels so distant. But the more that I keep telling myself to think about it again, it's helping me to have that perspective.
Yeah.
of
What
where
would
it
you
is
tell
today.
your 2016 self now that you're here in 2020, 9 years later? That's so,
I know, which I'm like, it's gonna be a decade next
I
year.
know.
It's crazy. I think back all the time too. Like even when we're going backstage, like there's a specific smell. This is so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
In the tunnel.
Yep.
Yep.
And I
There
think
sure
of the
is.
costume change in Sound of Music in 2011, like running to
Right.
make that, just things like that. And then obviously doing it together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first thing I would think is just you wait. Like you get to do this with your husband someday,
Yeah,
and
that's
where
so
you
cool.
met. But also, just listen and watch is what I would
Yeah.
say too.
Yeah. I think I
Just
would.
couldn't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I would tell myself to like breathe it in. That it's like I don't think I knew this at 16, but I had so much time. You
Mhm.
know,
Right,
and
right.
and I have so much time now, and like this journey called life that we got here is like what are we doing if we're just trying to get through it? You know, that like theater for me starting then was the place where I could like breathe and take it in and understand life from a new perspective, because that's what you're doing. You know, you're looking at a character who's looking at life in a different way.
Yep.
So it allows you to learn so much, and you don't learn that unless you stop and slow down and breathe and breathe it in. Yeah.
That's why I say to the cast, like, that's the beauty, like the joy of doing a show is it's never the same cast.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's never the same journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's always something for this time in this place.
Yeah.
And that's why I say don't miss a moment, because when it's over, and you'll never do this show with these parts with this exact same group of people. It will never happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be one in a billion
Yes.
chance that would
Yeah.
happen again. So don't miss any second of it. Like you want to hold on to everything that you can.
Right.
What just really quickly, what do you think you have? What in your own life do you bring to the character of Scarecrow, to this character of Dorothy? Because, as actors, we do tap into something. There's
Relatability.
something that we've got to relate or connect to.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like that is from your own life?
Yeah. Well, I think we've been talking a lot in rehearsals about the Scarecrow, and he even from the very start, he was never dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He was never dumb, and he was just conditioned to believe that he was. And that's something that is really, really close to my heart, because I've never been good at meeting standards or that sort of thing. So school was really, really tough for me. And I've learned that it just wasn't my kind of smarts that schooling was testing me on. So theater school, and of course there were still grades there, so I didn't do amazing grades wise, but I did better than I did in high school.
Classes, just not elsewhere.
Exactly.
Right. And it was something that was like, okay, I know what it's like to just think that you don't have it up there, and Scarecrow, really it's more of a story for him of gaining the confidence of his own thoughts and ideas than it is him getting a brain. That wasn't what he was given, even in the end. It was just proof that he does.
That's good. Love that.
Kind of reminds me when I'm like, you are way smarter than you think you are, and other people think you are too. Yeah, and he realizes that at the end too. But I mean, with Dorothy, I mean, to be honest, during the audition process, I was like, coming home. Like, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Moving from New York to here. There's no place like home. And when we were doing auditions, even just singing the song on that stage, having been performing there with an ensemble and smaller roles too, that was my almost form of therapy too, because I struggled when I was younger with a lot of anxiety, and especially when I was younger, when I was doing these shows, and I would always look forward to coming back for rehearsals, and home to me is Grace Church and Grace Church Theater, and now I work here, and that's a dream. So obviously I relate to her in that, and I just feel like I'm a little bit of a kid at heart too, and I just can tap into that as well. So
I love that.
It's been really fun.
I love that, and home is important, and everybody needs to feel like they've got a home, that sense of belonging, and people that value them and see them and love them. And that's what I've hoped that we would provide through all of this. And so it's good to hear that it's worked.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So last question.
Yes.
Why should people see this show? Other than you guys are in it.
Why shouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I
Why
know.
wouldn't you?
Right. I think we've been saying this over the past few years just by looking at the industry, but it's theater right now needs to bring joy, and that's what we're doing with this show. That you can look at it from so many different ways. If you look at, we were just talking about character, if you look at Scarecrow's life, it's sad. That's super sad, but that's not what the story is doing. That's what the character is going through, but we're looking at it in a way that's it's joyful. We're going to achieve what we're setting out to do, and it is so hopeful. A show like this, and I think that spreading that joy is so important in
Totally.
the world we have today.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. The joy, and then also the people and the relationships within the show too. Watching the four characters grow and change, and all have their own wants and needs, and how they come together to build that. They form their own community with where they're at. I think everybody can relate to that. Life's gonna throw you curveballs, and sometimes we look to places or people like the Wizard, Emerald City. It's gonna be better if I'm there.
Right.
Yeah.
Grass is always greener, and even New York, no, I'm ready to come home.
Right.
So
Right.
I think the relatability too, people need to be heard, and that's what I love about theater too, being able to relate to somebody on stage and walk away feeling heard almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Art is healing.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
To the artists and to the audience.
Yep.
Both.
It is.
So
Everybody.
I hope people feel that. Well, I have to say I love you both, and I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I don't know that I am allowed to be, but I am so proud of who you are as human beings and who you are as artists. Like, it's just a joy. So for me, it was perfect timing that you both moved back. And it's just fun to get to watch you do this together. I love it. So thanks for taking time to talk to me.
Thank you so
and we'll
much.
see
Oh my
you
gosh,
November
this is
21st.
so fun.
Yes, we'll see
Yes.
you all November 21st, all of you out there. Or 22nd, 23rd, 28th,
I know.
29th,
And then
30th,
go see
whatever.
the Wicked movie. It's perfect
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
So, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.